This is the FlightScope Mevo Plus, and I think for most people, it represents the best value golf launch monitor out there in terms of features, price, everything that you get. And part of the reason why it's so good is it takes 90% of the features of this. This is its older brother, the FlightScope X3C, and this costs about $10,000 more than this. The question is it worth $10,000 more, and should you consider buying it? That is what we're going to talk about in today's FlightScope X3C review video, but we're also going to touch on a few new features that FlightScope just rolled out to both of these products that make both of them even better. So if you've been in the market for a FlightScope launch monitor, keep watching. Today's video is for you. Okay, so real quick, before we go too deep into the review, let's talk about exactly what this is and how it came to be. So the FlightScope X3 is their professional level launch monitor. This is their launch monitor that's supposed to compare with the TrackMan, with the GC Quad. It's in most cases used in more professional settings for lessons, club fitting, things like that. But for those people that are looking for a professional level solution that you can use both indoors and outdoors, it might be a good fit. What's been crazy though, over the last 5 years since the Mevo Plus came out, is that FlightScope has just been taking features from the X3C and putting them in here. And that's part of what makes this thing such a killer value. For instance, one of the biggest updates it made a few years ago was adding fusion tracking. So you see this camera right here? See this camera right here? Basically what that means is it's combining the data from the Doppler radar and the data from the camera to give you even more accurate numbers. And I've got to say, it works really well, and I was super impressed when that came as a free update for all Mevo Plus users. So let's talk about first impressions of the X3C. First off, the X3C is essentially the same as the X3. This is the most up-to-date version, and there's really only been minor changes, the most notable of which is the entire thing is made of a carbon fiber body. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure what the benefits of a carbon fiber body in a launch monitor are, considering this is still a pretty heavy device, but there's no denying that it certainly looks pretty cool. One thing I was a little disappointed about with the X3C, considering this is a device that costs over $10,000 and they just refreshed it, is that it still doesn't have a USB-C port. It uses an older USB mini connection, just like the FlightScope Mevo Plus does. And from a performance standpoint, that's not really that big of a deal, but when it comes to convenience and the cords that I happen to have lying around all over the place, at this point, they're pretty much all USB-C, so I've got to make sure that I've got the dedicated USB cord on hand when I need it. That being said, whereas the Mevo Plus charges via USB, this has a dedicated DC charger, and the battery life is great. It's rated for around 5 hours. I have used it on 3 different rain sessions without having to charge it yet. So if you're the type of person that wants to take it outside and you want to grind away, battery life is excellent. Packaging and presentation feels really good. It comes with a lot of stuff out of the box, comes with the stickers to make sure you can get accurate club data, comes with the USB-C cord, comes with the Ethernet cable, comes with the power cord and the power adapter, and it even comes with your own little FlightScope tape measure to make sure that if you were using this in a professional setting, you can get everything set up exactly how you need. The X3C itself feels really high-end. It's definitely heavy, it's got some heft to it, the carbon fiber looks really nice and does add to that premium feeling, but one of my favorite features that this has that the Mevo Plus doesn't is a self-leveling system. So you basically open up the stand like this, you can set it down, and when you turn it on, it's actually going to level itself to make sure that it is set up exactly how you need to in order to get accurate results. That's one of the downsides of the Mevo Plus, is while it's got this little stand, if you're on a range that doesn't have a whole lot of level space behind you, setting this thing up can be a little bit tricky. That's honestly one of my biggest critiques about the Mevo Plus is that setup system, and with the X3C, that problem is basically solved and setup is awesome. Hey, real quick, 2 things. If you're not sure if one of these is the right launch monitor for you, go take my 30-second quiz. You're gonna answer a few questions around what you're looking for, and I'm gonna give you my best recommendation on the launch monitor that best fits your needs. Second, if you do decide to buy one of these products and you click the link below, I will get a commission for that. I truly do not care if you buy these or any other products. My whole goal with this channel is just to help you find the right products for your needs based on my personal experience. If you do decide the Mevo Plus is the right one for you, you can use the coupon code BREAKING80+. It's gonna knock 5% off the sales price, make things even more palatable than it already is. The value on this is insane. And unfortunately, the coupon code I don't believe works for this, but you will find they do have occasional sales, so keep an eye out for that. As I mentioned, feature-wise, the X3C is very similar to the FlightScope, right down to the point that they all use the same app. I actually love this. If you've got a whole bunch of Mevo Plus data and you're deciding you want to upgrade to the X3C, you still have all of that data within the app. You don't have to go out and learn a whole new system. It is really nice. I think pretty obviously the people that do benefit the most from that are Mevo Plus users, because they're getting that full professional app, that full professional system in a device that's definitely more in the prosumer price range. And despite the fact the app is starting to feel a little bit dated in some of its design, it is still one of my favorite apps to use of any launch monitor, because you can take the data, you can customize it any way you want. It's super easy to use. You can get all kinds of data, metrics, views. It's really, really customizable, and you get more data with FlightScope than you are with just about any other launch monitor short of a TrackMan. So here's historically the big issue I've had with FlightScope devices from a setup perspective. So I'm generally using these with my iPad, which does not have a cellular connection. So in order to use, say, E6 or download courses or do anything online, I've got to be connected to a Wi-Fi network. Well, because the connection options for some of these are a little bit more limited, you don't have Bluetooth, you have to connect to the device's Wi-Fi that it emits. When I do that with my iPad, it doesn't allow me to then connect to the internet. So I have to basically connect to the FlightScope, get it all set up, disconnect it, go back over to the app, connect to my home Wi-Fi, download whatever I need, and then go back and connect to the device. It's a very cumbersome system that isn't great. But as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, there's been some new updates over the last couple weeks, the biggest of which is Wi-Fi sharing. So now you can connect to that same Wi-Fi network on, say, your iPad, and then with your FlightScope, you can connect to it as well. So you can be connected to both your launch monitor and the Wi-Fi on your device all at once, and it works much better. It definitely streamlines the process and makes using these a whole lot simpler. There were also two other major updates that we're going to talk about later in this video. Now, usability with the X3C. Honestly, it's just like using the Mevo Plus, and that's what I love about it. However, there is one thing you will notice if you start using this outside compared to the Mevo Plus, and that is, and this might sound a little counterintuitive, it will take a little bit longer for your numbers to register with the X3C than it will with the Mevo Plus. And the reason for this is because it has a bigger and better Doppler radar, where it is tracking the ball all the way until it lands. With the Mevo Plus, it will track it for, I believe, about 150 yards, and then it will use an algorithm to give you the rest of your numbers. So what that does is it gives you your numbers a second or two faster than the X3C. But because this is actually tracking the ball all the way, theoretically, you're going to have more accurate numbers. Now, for the average person, are those numbers going to be so wildly different that it's worth an extra $10,000? Honestly, probably not. In testing these side by side, honestly, the numbers have been relatively similar. And for me, who doesn't necessarily need pinpoint accuracy, I'll take a device that's quite a bit faster, even if it's a couple percentage points less accurate. While the X3 and the Mevo Plus with Pro package has all the same metrics when it comes to chipping, you're getting a whole lot more with the X3C when it comes to putting. Even the Mevo Plus with Pro package won't give you club speed, roll distance, roll speed, and a whole bunch of other putting metrics, whereas this does. How useful that is? Well, that's up to you and what your personal setup is. For me, I'm not necessarily looking to do a whole bunch of putting on a device like this, but if you are, then this is definitely going to give you more accurate results and more metrics. So what about those other features that I said they just rolled out? Well, the next biggest one are major updates to its live shot tracer feature. So FlightScope is the only one that does this. Lots of times when you're watching a pro golf tournament, you'll see someone hit a drive and it'll give you that beautiful shot tracer showing you exactly where the ball goes. Well, FlightScope is the only launch monitor brand that will give you that same shot tracker in live video in real time and also show you the distance, the ball height, and some other metrics directly in the video. The development behind this and setting it up, I can't even imagine how difficult it was to create this. The problem is despite this feature being out for over a year, not that many people are using it because it's really cumbersome to set up. Not only do you have to have a secondary device, but you had to do a whole bunch of extra stuff to get it to work, to the point where it's just like, oh, well, I can just look at the virtual shot tracer within the app, even if it's not showing my actual swing in the actual video. But it's the kind of thing that if it were really easy to set up and I could do it directly in the app, then that's something that I'd probably use more and might be useful. So with this most recent update, all of a sudden it is easy to set up and is actually making that cool feature a useful one as well. The third feature is just some extra customizability options. So when you are in your virtual range and you are using different clubs, you can change the color of the trajectory of each of those clubs. So if you want to see the trajectory of all your 7-irons, and then you want to see the trajectory of all your 8-irons in a different color, you can now set that up. So all that to say, should you buy this? That depends. I love this device. I love this device. For the average person, you are going to get 90 to 95% of the value with this as you will with the X3C. So for most people, this is going to be more practical, more portable, and give you a really similar experience while saving thousands of dollars. I think the biggest thing that I love about both of these products is the fact that FlightScope continues to give us more features without charging us more. So these are two of the most versatile launch monitors in all of golf. If you want to use it on your PC, you can. If you want to use just about any major simulator software out there, you can. You want to use it on your iPhone? You can. You want to use it on your Apple Watch? You can. Do you want to get a multicam set up and see your swing from multiple angles? You can. Do you want a way to play games and make your practice more fun? You can do that in the FlightScope Skills app. Do you want to be able to get the yardages for all of your clubs and then have a rangefinder that can make club recommendations based on your exact conditions on the course using your launch monitor data as the basis for those recommendations? You can do that. And you can do all of this without any added subscription. This is very rare in both the golf and the tech world, and it's something that I've got to applaud FlightScope for, because while it may be costing them money in the long term, it is making the user experience better for all of their customers. Both of these devices just keep getting better and better, despite the fact they were released years ago. I've seen with other brands where rather than update the existing products, they just roll out a whole new product that's not compatible with the old one. FlightScope hasn't done that, and that's one of the reasons why it's been so easy to recommend these products. All that to say, I guess I didn't really answer the question about this. You should get the X3C if you have bought into the idea of the FlightScope ecosystem. All of those benefits that I just talked about, if that appeals to you more than what you can get with other brands, then this is a great option to consider. Specifically, if you are a club professional, if you are a club fitter, or if you're building a high-end simulator in your home and you don't want to spend TrackMan money in order to do it. So the short answer for 95% of the people watching this video, Mevo Plus. And for the few of you that want something that's going to be more accurate, easier to set up, and gives you a true professional level solution without a subscription fee, this is also a great option as well. And with that, my name is Sean Ogle. I'm the founder here at Breaking 80, where we talk about cool golf products, cool golf courses, and if you're not sure if one of these launch monitors is the right one for you, go take our 30-second quiz. You're gonna answer a few questions about what you were looking for, and I'm gonna give you my best recommendation on the device that is the best fit for you. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe, hit the thumbs up, drop a comment if you have any questions about any of these FlightScope devices or how they compare to any other launch monitors. And with that, I think you should also go watch this video right here, where I rank my 10 favorite launch monitors of all time. And with that, I hope you have an excellent day, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.